Tonight on CTV News, should police carry guns? A top criminologist speaks out. The nationwide building boom is on, but can Christchurch take the credit? And the issue that won't go away, the flag debate, is back.
Broadcasting across Canterbury, from the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Good evening, this is CTV News. I'm Chris Lynch, and tonight we start with a positive story, and Christchurch City is leading the country through the biggest building boom in decades, and it's being suggested it's not going to slow down anytime soon. Emma Cropper reports.
It's been called the golden era for New Zealand's building and construction industry, and it's about to see the biggest building boom in more than 4 decades. Housing and Building Minister Nick Smith is forecasting a $100 billion boom, and by the end of 2017 believes the industry would have reached unprecedented levels. The latest findings have come from the National Construction Pipeline Report, which provides national and regional forecasts of activity for all areas of the industry through to the end of 2019. In its latest report, it anticipates a 10% increase in activity, but warns if the government is to keep up, it needs to invest in skills to support the growth and ensure the regulatory environment maintains high standards. Dr. Nick Smith says it will be the longest sustained period of growth in construction activity in the past 40 years. Christchurch is one of the top places where a hive of activity will take place, with construction peaking in the city by 2017. Dr. Smith says the forecast for Christchurch is further evidence that post-quake rebuild efforts in the city are moving at pace. The government has 6 projects due to begin in the next 6 months, valued at $1 billion.
The parents of a Timaru teenager who died after a weekend party say her death is hard to comprehend. 18-year-old Bailey Elliott had been at a friend's party to celebrate Labour Day weekend. Bailey's death has been referred to the coroner, with her cause of death yet to be officially determined. In a statement, her parents say her death is really hard to comprehend, and they're just devastated. And they say they will be holding a private funeral and ask for privacy to allow them to work through their total grief. Well, parking wardens are getting into the Christmas spirit a little early. It may be hard to believe, but they're going easy on motorists who flout the law. Emma Cropper reports.
A friendly reminder to help motorists avoid fines. It's a new initiative from the Christchurch City Council, which will see parking wardens issuing smiley face reminders rather than fines. Cars with a warrant of fitness or expired registration will be handed out a blue and white friendly reminder rather than a $200 fine. The council announced the changes yesterday to ease up on motorists starting next month. A City Council spokesperson says the initiative is designed to give motorists an opportunity to get things right. The notices will be signed off with a thanks from your friendly parking compliance team and a smiley face. The council says it shows the friendly nature of the reminder. But not all motorists will escape with just a warning. Cars with an expired registration or warrant of fitness out by more than 15 days may still be issued a ticket. The council says the reminder notices are intended to encourage action towards getting the appropriate compliance for vehicles within the legal time limit.
We're being asked to buy just a little bit more at the grocery store to help the city mission this Christmas. The organisation says it's struggling to fill the food banks ahead of what they say will be a busy holiday season. Marcus Gibbs reports.
It's a hive of activity in the basement of the Christchurch City Mission. This is the City Missioner's workshop, and these volunteers are his elves, working to pack more than 4,000 brown paper bags and hopefully fill more than 8,000 by the end of the appeal.
Christchurch is a really generous place, so yes, we're going to beat our target.
The bags can be found in all New World supermarkets, and they're quickly filling up.
You know, it's amazing. You see people come in, little kids with bags, their parents. I'm just amazed at the goodness of people.
The Christchurch City Mission helps thousands of struggling Cantabrians every year. The post-earthquake environment means some businesses are having to make people redundant. CTV News knows of a number of cases when people have been made redundant with only a day's notice. It's people like this, along with the homeless and others who are struggling financially, that the mission helps.
We think for a year we touch the lives of about 22,000 people by helping them out with emergency food.
Right now, the mission is handing out 35 parcels a day. Towards Christmas, that number is likely to climb to 700 a week.
Things like pasta, tins, cans of food, also personal items like toothpaste, toothbrushes, sanitary items, soap.
The Missioner isn't happy with current poverty levels in Christchurch. That's why he believes this food drive is so important.
There is food poverty and food insecurity here, and that's a real concern.
Poverty impacts hundreds, if not thousands of Cantabrians.
Poverty is a real issue. People are struggling. That's shown in the inability of people to be able to pay any increase in rents, power costs going up.
Despite common belief, the people taking advantage of the mission's food bank aren't splurging on cigarettes or alcohol.
Interestingly enough, people will make sure they pay their rent first and their electricity, and then they look at food. And that often means that some of the kids in this city aren't getting enough food to eat. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on helping those who have less than we do. And keep that wonderfully generous Canterbury Christchurch spirit alive.
The mission has no deadline in mind for the end of the appeal. As long as the bags are being filled, they'll be taking them, passing them on to those most in need. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Christchurch police have laid charges against a driver following a rampage through the streets of the city this morning. The car was seen driving erratically on Marshlands Road when a pursuit started. It was called off near the city when it became far too dangerous. The car was again discovered at Hillmorton when the driver was cornered. Police say the offender rammed a police car before trying to drive into a police officer. And after a struggle involving multiple police officers and a police dog, the man was tasered and arrested. Now, one of the officers suffered deep cuts to his hands during the struggle. The driver appeared in the Christchurch District Court this morning on a raft of charges. Well, still to come, should police carry guns? And are we doing enough to attract international visitors to the city?
Europe in concert. A new, fantastic international artist performing every week. Saturday evening at 7 p.m, right here on CTV.
The world really is your oyster with Farm to Farm tours. Discover some of the world's best farming, scenery and cultural experiences. We work closely with trusted international colleagues in more than 30 countries to customise great trips for people just like you. For a hassle-free trip, call the friendly team at Farm to Farm Tours now or visit our website.
Located at the foot of the Port Hills, Berrymead Golf offers a spectacular location for any occasion. Make a dream wedding a reality with private use of our green function room, outdoor garden courtyard, large marquee and stunning gazebo. Or for your next conference, enjoy the relaxed atmosphere of Berrymead Golf, offering a private, spacious conference room with special deals to make any break a true break. All with customised catering from the Wow Cafe. Berrymead Golf, 50 Berrymead Park Drive, right next to the Berrymead Heritage Park.
Undergone home renovations? Looking for that special something to complete a room? Look no further than the Hitching Post. Their extensive range ensures you can find that special something. From plasma cut metalwork to candles, artwork, weather vanes, or even a customised gate. So come on down to the Hitching Post, 722 Marshland Road.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company. Oi!
Join Graham Sinclair and the team at Gone Fishing as they bring you great stories, fishing tips and beautiful scenery. Gone Fishing, Friday night at 8:30 right here on CTV.
Welcome back to CTV News. Well, Chinese visitors have been flocking to the city by the thousands in the past year, but local tourism operators say more needs to be done to attract them to this region. Emma Cropper explains.
Tourists are flooding the country by the thousands, and Canterbury hasn't missed out on the visitors. Latest figures from the tourism satellite account show travellers from North America and Asia contributed $1.1 billion to New Zealand's economy. That's up 5% in the past year. Canterbury Tourism's chief executive believing social media is playing a large part in attracting the overseas visitors.
We're really seeing, a lot more self-drive Chinese we simply didn't have 2 years ago, and we think that social media has been a big part of that.
Last month, Jin Zhejian, the Chinese consul, made his stay in Christchurch official. He says visiting the Garden City tops the list for many Chinese travellers.
Many Chinese have a dream to come to New Zealand, particularly South Island, to go to the Queenstown, to go to several other places, and of course, to come to Christchurch to see, to enjoy the beautiful scenery and the friendship of local people.
But the tourism sector is hoping a direct flight from Christchurch to China will boost numbers.
The difficulties, I think, it's mainly the number of passengers. As a carrier, they have to think about the profits margin. And as there's still a lot of work to do to have more Chinese tourists coming and also to encourage more New Zealanders to go to China.
We've been in China twice this year to talk to China Southern Airlines, who are now operating twice daily into Auckland. So we think it's time for the South Island to get a share of the action.
In February, 3 charter flights landed in Christchurch from China. Tim Hunter is hoping growing interest in the local tourism sector will encourage more commercial flights into the city.
Keep talking it up, keep showing them the statistics that more and more Chinese are arriving directly into Christchurch. In fact, this year our arrivals into Christchurch Airport from China are up more than 50%. So that's the level of growth we're currently getting.
Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Well, it's a debate that just won't go away, to change or not to change our national flag. Critics of the current one say it's dated and doesn't represent New Zealand, but have some residents called on the idea. Now it's been revealed any change could cost the taxpayer $26 million.
The New Zealand flag controversy. Should we stay with what we know, or is the wind of change blowing? The government is proposing 3 potential flag designs, and the Prime Minister is backing this one. $26 million will be spent over 2 years to run 2 referendums on the issue. The first will choose a preferred new design, while the second referendum will look at whether the chosen design should replace our flag. A group of respected New Zealanders will sit on a flag consideration panel, seeking feedback from the public on which design they prefer. To save the government $26 million, CTV News gauged the great minds of Bishopdale Mall on what they thought of the whole process. From the devoted.
Forever and ever and ever. Amen.
To the haters.
Yeah, well, I'm fairly ambivalent, but yeah, I would quite like to see it changed.
Bishopdale Mall turned out to be a goldmine of opinions when it comes to whether or not the flag should be changed. Amongst the crowds, there were many proud New Zealanders.
I like New Zealand. I like this flag. I think maybe keep this one.
I would like to keep the old flag with a silver fern across.
Yeah, I like it how it is.
One of the flag's youngest supporters didn't have anything to say, but was happy to wave it high and proud when the camera was rolling. Jeff from Australia has dozens of flag badges on his hat. New Zealand's is one of his favourites.
Hey. What do you think of it? Good. Good flag? Yeah.
Janet was by far the strongest supporter of the flag.
Why change what's perfect?
She says without our Commonwealth colours, we would be invaded by other countries and Jeff and his mates wouldn't back us up.
Australia won't come to our aid. We haven't got an army, a navy or an air force.
North Korea or China would take us over in 3 days.
Though many people love the flag we have, others do want to change it.
Quite like that red and blue with the fern through the middle would be my pick.
As to the high cost of the two referendums, $26 million.
Ooh, I could think of better things to spend the money on. Education would be good.
Oh, it's ridiculous, yeah. I'd rather just keep it as it is, thank you.
What do you think about these $26 million plans to change the flag?
Utterly ludicrous. If I wanted to change it, I could change it for about $1,000. Most people could have had any guts. We've had how many men and women go and die under that? We're not part of the Commonwealth, and until we're not, I want that flag to stay the same. If they want to, put a Kiwi on it, for God's sake.
The Prime Minister agrees the cost is steep, but says if the flag doesn't change as a result of the referendum, then it won't change for another 50 to 100 years. The Great Flag debate kicks off on Anzac Day next year. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
There are non-profit organisations relying on outside help to keep them going, and last night they got a decent helping hand. The casino awarded 24 charities with funding at their annual Charitable Trusts evening. Community support, youth and child abuse agencies were among the list of recipients. The trust was established in 1995 and to date have handed out more than $3.5 million. Well, a respected criminologist is urging the public to reject support for arming the police. Dr. Greg Newbold told CTV News last night if New Zealand goes down the same road as the United States, we can expect our cops to turn into cowboys.
A Christchurch criminologist has poured cold water on suggestions police should carry firearms. The University of Canterbury's Dr. Greg Newbold told CTV's Lynch Show that when it comes to police working on the front line with firearms, it shouldn't happen.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with arming cops.
Dr. Newbold says cops currently have access to guns, kept within a locked box in their car. If a gun is used, officers need to follow up with a written report.
I think that's the way it should be. If you have cops walking around the bloody streets with guns on their hips like cowboys, they'll start acting like cowboys. And we've seen that in the United States. We've seen it in Australia. We get arrogance and shoot first and ask questions later.
Believing there are already instances where cops are abusing the use of tasers and pepper spray.
But they're not fatal. Where a gun comes out, the pulling of the gun, firing a trigger is quite often, pulling a trigger is quite often fatal. So a mistake can be fatal. And you don't want that. We don't want innocent people dying.
He says walking the streets armed with a gun would breed arrogance amongst the police force.
It alters the whole policing dynamic. I like polite policemen. I don't like arrogant policemen. And that's what you get when you get a gun.
Emma Cropper, CTV News.
A major milestone in Housing New Zealand's comprehensive repair program of its Canterbury social housing stock will be achieved this week. Associate Earthquake Recovery Minister Nikki Wagner and Housing New Zealand's Canterbury Earthquake Recovery General Manager Paul Commons are meeting tomorrow to acknowledge Housing New Zealand passing the halfway mark of its repair program that will see up to 5,000 earthquake-damaged state houses repaired by the end of 2015. We'll have more on that story tomorrow night. Well, still to come, some extraordinary footage of Hector's dolphins playing with their natural predators. That's next.
Let's face it, everyone has an agenda. And guess what? So do I. Every week, I'll pick 3 stories that grab my attention. Agenda with me, Brent Goff.
Are you having trouble with your old mower or just have too much grass? At Mead Mowers and Chainsaws, with our wide range of Husqvarna mowers, no job is too big or too small. We stock rotary, ride-on, zero turn, out front articulated riders, and robotic auto mowers. We have the Husqvarna mower for you. Call in and visit Gavin or Peter at Mead Mowers and Chainsaws.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference More Mobility makes.
Welcome to Caltex Redwood. We're a family-owned business proudly supporting our local community. We're open 24/7 for fuel and shop goods, and we have an amazing team of people ready to help you. Save at least 6 cents per litre using AA Smart Fuel cards. We also offer great value on our LPG bottle fills. We have a full workshop and Bridgestone Tyre Centre. Our mechanics and tyre technicians will get your car sorted. Caltex Redwood. We're just down from St Bede's on Main North Road. Caltex Redwood. What drives you?
Kids television is right here on CTV. With an exciting range of kids programming, join in on all the fun, Saturdays 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. right here on CTV.
Welcome back to CTV News. Some extraordinary footage now. In a very rare sight, a female orca and her 2 calves have been spotted playing with a pod of Hector's dolphins in Akaroa. Black Cats Cruises skipper Julian Yates says it was a magnificent sight because it is in fact extremely rare. The orca is known for preying on the dolphins. The 2 species played and swam together for around 20 minutes. So sometimes we can be friends, eh? Well, here's Warren Head now with your business news.
I'm Warren Head from headliner.co.nz. Overnight, the United States Federal Reserve Committee that looks at their interest rates kept their benchmark rate at a very low level. So far down, it's near zero. Now, earlier in the week, the Swedes cut their bond rate, official cash rate, to zero. Ours stayed today at 3.5%. The Reserve Bank in Wellington said that there was a very low inflation figure running at the moment, about 1%, so no concerns there. And growth in our economy has been faster than trend over 2014. So things seem quite stable. The currency came off a little bit this morning, which will already start helping exporters. But on the local front, a good barometer stock to watch is Freightways. They have a big operation here in Christchurch. They had a fabulous first quarter. Really boom conditions. Revenue was up almost 17% and the bottom line profit up 36%. So that tells you that things are moving along there. And earlier in the week, amongst all the annual meetings, Skellerup talked about their particular state of health. Excellent, they said. They talked about the new Wigram site in Christchurch being the opportunity, once it's up and running, to get into food safety in terms of the agriculture sector. So they're looking optimistically at a result for next year around about 24 million. So that was all positive. And today in the city, I caught up with Ian McRae, the man who 21 years ago founded Orion Health and has taken it to one of the world's leading software companies for the healthcare sector. He's going to the market right now looking for about 125, 150 million. He's going to price the shares somewhere between $4.30 and $5.70, which is right up there, but he thinks it's worth it. This will be a stock coming onto the market before Christmas. And what do? They sell software to the hospital system. They're right across the hospitals, the DHBs in New Zealand. So this is an opportunity for investors to look at that and also what's happening in the United States and elsewhere. Now, I spoke to Ian very briefly this morning, and he was quite optimistic about where his business is going.
We have 3 product areas: our integration software, hospital software, and our healthier population software, which is for software in the community. But we also have in front of us a huge transformational change happening in healthcare right now, actually with device data, genomics, a lot of things happening. So we're pretty excited about that.
And coming to the market now, you're looking for 125, 150 million. What will you spend that money on?
Half will go on research. We're also building out a SaaS service in the US and also just for general company liquidity.
And you see big opportunities at this point. You're really excited about it, I believe.
Yeah, well, other sectors have been transformed with travel, with Uber and TripAdvisor, music with iTunes and Spotify. Health is always a laggard, but health is big. It's 20%, pushing towards 20% of the North American economy. There's actually massive wastage, between 30 or 40% of all health spend is waste. So there's massive opportunity.
It is time now for the region's weather.
A sunny day for your region today in Timaru, Temuka and Geraldine, a high of 19. Methven, Ashburton and Rakayu hit 19 degrees. Darfield 19, Leeston and Ralston a high of 21. Looking at Lincoln, 21 today. In the city, a warm day for you, hitting a high of 22 degrees. Over in Akaroa, 19.
Call it magic when I'm with you.
Heading north to Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley, you hit a high of 21.
Just got broken into two.
Further north in Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot, they hit the region's high on 22 degrees. At the very top in Kaikoura, 21. But what about tomorrow? In Timaru, cloudy and cold with showers and southerly winds, hitting an overnight low of 7 and a high of 12.
No, I don't, it's true. I don't want anybody else but you. I don't.
Ashburton becoming cloudy during the morning and rain developing with cold southerly winds freshening in the afternoon. 7 degrees overnight and 15 throughout your day. Christchurch, high cloud and mild northwesterlies at first, but showers developing later in the morning with a cold southwesterly change. Expect 7 degrees overnight, 17 throughout your day.
Disappear from view, and I can't get old.
Kaikoura fine at first, but southwesterlies freshening during the morning and showers developing during the day. Tonight's low 7, tomorrow's high 17. And in other areas around the region, Temuka and Geraldine expect showers with a high of 14. Methven hitting a high of 15 and Rakaia a high of 17 with showers expected. Darfield, Leeston and Rolleston reaching a high of 17 and low of 7. Over in Akaroa, showers for most parts of the day with a high of 17. Further north to Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley, expect to hit a high of 17 and low of 7. At the top in Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot, showers for most parts of the day with a high of 17. And looking ahead for Canterbury, any early low cloud clearing on Saturday will then become fine with sunny periods and high cloud. Mild with moderate northerly winds are expected, as well as northwesterlies freshening during the evening. Thick high cloud on Sunday, with warm temperatures and strong gusty northwesterly winds, possibly near gale force in exposed places during the afternoon. Mild at first on Monday, with fresh northwesterlies and high cloud. Showers and a fresh cold southwesterly wind will develop during the afternoon. Cloudy and cold on Tuesday and Wednesday, with showers and moderate southerly winds expected. And that's your region's weather this evening.
So bad weather next week, so enjoy this week, eh? And that is CTV News this Thursday. Have a great night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.